Hey everyone, Happy New Year from Los Angeles. I still have COVID. So I unfortunately am at my host's house. And my host just stopped by for a visit, but like I am here while I have COVID because two of us had COVID and then there was one basically. So I got before I had COVID and before I knew I wasn't gonna be, I'm still positive, unfortunately, so I can't go out and party. So back when I was in Slab City, I got this from the Walmart in Brawley, and I got this from here because the plan was to go party. Obviously, I came up here because I got invited to a party, and so this. So I was gonna say that this was gonna be the New Year's fit, but you know what? This is the New Year's fit. I I am of course a little sad that I have COVID on New Year's. I'd rather not have COVID at all because it really fucks with you. Um, but like I gotta look at it from the perspective of like, maybe it's keeping me out of some kind of other trouble. Like maybe I need to be inside and lay low. Um, because LA is definitely a different beast. Um, and I've been sick since I got here. When I got here, I had a cold, and now I have COVID. So like this might be a fucking sign. Um, it's just sad that it's like New Year's and this is a holiday that I celebrate. But you know what? I'm choosing to not be sad. I'm going to celebrate on the internet and party it up. So bam, I got my shot glass. I got my lights. Happy New Year. 2023 is going to be something. I don't know what the fuck it's going to be, but it's going to be a thing that happened that we're all going to be talking about um, until 2024. Um, I don't have New Year's resolutions. I don't make New Year's resolutions because it's kind of like, if you're going to set goals, just set goals. But for people who do make New Year's resolutions and people who do set goals, I always follow the advice of like set achievable goals. And it's not in a form of like trying to downplay someone's goals. It's just like set like it for baby steps, you know what I mean? Like, no, you're not just going to get up at 4 a.m. and go to the gym. You got to like see if you can wake up earlier and then like really go to the gym anytime you want. Like, or like if it's a thing that you can do, oh, the TV. Oh, okay. Now I'm in Roku City. Or if it's a thing that you can do, make a home gym or as close to a home gym as you can get, like whatever's achievable for you. Because like things like exercise aren't fun unless you make it fun. Like if you're already going into it like it's a chore, it's not gonna work out. You have to want, pun intended, it's not gonna work. You have to go into it wanting to do it. It has to be fun for you. And that's honestly a lot of things in life. If you go into it with like a struggle mindset, you're not gonna want to fucking do it. Like we weren't put on this planet to struggle. That's just something that capitalism tells us. And yeah, congestion and runny nose are my COVID things. My other COVID thing is fog brain, um, rolling fever, and every now and again cold sweats. I only had cold sweats on my first day, which is what got me to test. I haven't had cold sweats since, but yeah, those are things that have happened. Um, and by the way, COVID is not like the flu. The flu doesn't give you fog brain. The flu, unless you also got pneumonia, the flu doesn't permanently affect any of your shit. Oh, and I do have rolling body aches. Um, Spirit, what the fuck? So much weird shit on TV now. But yeah, it's like as somebody who has had the flu quite a few times and somebody who just had a cold right before they had COVID, which is probably how I got it because my immune system was already compromised. Um, well, how it got into me, you can only pass people COVID. You like just like you can only pass them the flu. But yeah, my immune system was already compromised, so yeah, that's a great way to. But and it turns out I was also behind a vaccine. I didn't know a new booster came out this fall. When people were saying the new vaccine, I thought they were talking about the one that came out in summer. Apparently, two came out this year that I know of. So, yeah, it's weird. Um, and I also got COVID in my first major city, Los Angeles. So I'm like, this is probably like the fact that I came up here with a cold and then I got COVID is probably a fucking sign that I shouldn't be moving around in LA too much because I wasn't moving around that much when I had a cold. Um, because I was having this cold was something else. I had fevers with this cold. Um, so yeah, but I gotta take it as it comes. And if I end up not doing a whole lot while I'm here in LA, that's fine. Because LA is really big and big places just have a whole lot more capitalism. Um I'm looking forward to going to Oakland. Um After this, not so much looking forward to going to Portland anymore because that's another fucking big city. But I'm still gonna go. And then back on to Minneapolis, and then I moved to Pennsylvania. So that's what I'm looking forward to next year. Um, Going home and then building a new home. Um, my Right now I'm looking at being back in Slab City in 2024. I'm gonna skip next season because I'm gonna be building myself up out in Pennsylvania. Um, and like honestly, like traveling is always a highlight, but going out to Slab City is definitely one of the top highlights of 2022 for me. Um, I mean, just being alive is a highlight, but like it's like Slab City is overrated and underrated at the same time for very strange reasons. And there are great people there, and there are terrible people there, just like everywhere else. But like, I guess like being like one more person that like went out there and was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go see what the fuck this is about. I'm not gonna go off of what other people are talking about. It's just like I feel like I did something, you know? And I am proud of that. And I feel accomplished in how long I even lasted there because I've never done off the grid living like I don't even like fucking camping. And I went to go live off the grid for a few weeks, you know? Um so I feel like that really strengthened me for what I'm going to have going on for how I'm going to start a squat when I get to Pennsylvania. Or, you know, if things don't work out in Pennsylvania, how I'm going to have a squat somewhere else that has squatters' rights. Um and just see what happens from there. So I'm looking forward to 2023. And also, I had a tarot card reading, I think. Was it this year or last year? That said that my financial problems would be ending in 2023. So I've been looking forward to 2023 for a while. I think it was last year. Um, and Next year, after I move to Pennsylvania, I start my 5 year plan of getting the fuck out of the United States. Um, and honestly, knowing that Slab City exists, they say that like people who know about Slab City say that there's no other place like it, but it's like no, there are other places like Slab City. Off the like the idea of off the grid communities, it's not it's not impossible. Like there's no way Slab City's the only place like it. Like all these places all over the world, and you really think that Slab City is the only off the grid community? Close minded. I would be totally okay with being in an off the grid community. It just can't be Slab City because Slab City is the fucking desert. I would definitely have to be in a place where I could grow my own food. Um, and where it wouldn't be such a such a task to try to grow my own food in the harsh environment. Like, because it's not impossible to grow your own food in the desert, but it's a huge investment. A much huger investment than it would be to grow food somewhere that's already like for that. The environment's already for that. Um, but I know I have a lot of privileges. I'm able-bodied. I'm able-minded. I'm very. It's unfortunate that I have to say that I'm thankful for those things because those things shouldn't be privileges. People should be able to live their lives comfortably and independently, but we just don't live in a society like that. We live in a place where people who aren't able-bodied or able-minded get shit on, and they get trapped in these abusive situations and shit. And oh my hand. Sorry if my hand was over my mic the whole time. Um, this is why I usually have on headphones because I put my hand there. Um, if most of this video is muffled, I do apologize. Hopefully you can hear me. Um, but yeah, it's like being in Slab City has just given me a lot to think about, and that's why I'm sure that I want to go back, and I hope that the future has that in store for me. Um, and seeing what's going on with like other and there he goes. See what's going on with other foreign affairs too. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen. So it's like, am I gonna be, traveling foreign, traveling domestic, do more domestic traveling, like, you know, switching citizenships and all that, and seeing what that entails. And I know it's a very lengthy process and all this. And winter in Roku City looks really cool. I think this is the only time of year that they change for because of the federal holidays. Um, but yeah, um, while I'm here, I'm definitely going to continue to venture as much as I can. Oh shit! Oh, stop! Hang on. Holy crap! All right. But yeah, I don't want to make this whole video about slabs. And it's just like I look back and it's like I've had a lot of things to be thankful for over the past years. Being thankful to even travel like this with little to no money, just meeting kind people everywhere I go that are willing to let me stay with them, finding shelters that have space, and being able to do things comfortably for the most part throughout all of my travels. Even when things were rough, they weren't that rough. Um, just rougher than I wanted them to be, of course. And sometimes things were rougher than they had to be. For a lot of reasons, including but not limited to whatever I was putting myself through at the time. But every day I have being able-bodied and able-minded to be thankful for, because I know what happens to people that don't have that, because thanks to the internet, you can look at what other people's lives are like. You don't really have to wonder. And I know what it's like for people who can't take care of themselves and they're bedbound, and like I know that could become me or anyone else because anything could happen. Like, being able-bodied is a fucking privilege. And I use my able-bodied privilege to do what I can to help others. But I don't work off of an empty cup. I understand that I have to help myself so I can help others. Um, well, I'm working off an empty cup right now, but we're gonna fix that. I'm not gonna drink out of this. I'm gonna see if there are any like late New Year's parties or make my own New Year's thing and be like, all right, let's fucking do this up. Cause if given that this happened, I'm gonna just celebrate New Year's all of January. Like, fuck it. This is going with me everywhere. And or we can just celebrate New Year's at a club, at an LGBTQ club. I'd go and be like, I had COVID on New Year's, so I'm celebrating now, bitches. Let's get it. And another cool thing that I got that isn't New Year's related is the watch, which I am not finding right now and is not on my wrist. But like y'all have seen pictures. I posted pictures of the watch. It's fucking awesome. Where'd the watch go? I was just playing with it because it's been a while since I had a watch. Oh, here it is. Bam. The watch with the fucking light up display. Bam. It's a few minutes fast. Yeah, I figured I had to set a watch, but it's a few minutes. It's like 2 minutes fast. I read the instructions. But it's 2 minutes fast because it didn't let me adjust the seconds and it only goes forward. It doesn't go back. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just leave it fast. Being a few minutes fast isn't bad. And if you remember that you're fast, you're actually going to be on time because you're going to remember that you're fast. So yeah. Just sitting here chilling, celebrating New Year's, which is why this video is so long, because it's like, what else can I do? Oh, another great thing that I started that I picked up from somebody while I was in Slabs is thankfulness journals, and I picked that up from another traveler who was there for about a week. And it's like in just such a short period of time I met a whole lot of people, but like still not as many people as I had hoped to meet. But the people is quantity and not quality and not quantity. I met, for the low quantity of people that I met, most of them were very high quality people, and I'm very thankful for that. Let's see, what is the worst thing that happened to me this year? Put that on. All right, cool. The worst thing that happened, no, that was last year. What's the worst? This year was pretty good. Like, I guess the worst thing that happened was getting a cold because I couldn't figure out how to keep my camper warm. And then by the time I was like, and then I had to have that choice of like, either I'm going to heat my camper or I'm going to go to LA. And I chose LA and I got a cold. So, yeah, ending my year being with a cold and then getting COVID. This is the worst thing that's happened to me. This has been a great year. Yes, pretty fucking lit actually. I went 3.5 years strong, no COVID. And then I end up in a major city and get COVID. So that, I'm good. So, wow. The worst thing that happened to me was getting a cold and then getting COVID and not being able to go out. Like, this year definitely had some ups and downs. And like for everything else, I've pulled through really well, but there's nothing I can really do about getting a cold and then getting COVID. So I would log these as the worst things that have happened because there's nothing I can do about it. Everything else I've had some level of agency over and I've come out on top. And I know I got a lot of people on the other side and a lot of energy from the universe having my back on a lot of shit. I believe in luck, I believe in fate, I believe in destiny, and at the same time I believe in coincidence. I believe in free will to an extent. I believe that like people, I guess the idea of free will doesn't really come with a whole lot of nuance, because when people say free will, people who don't believe in free will say that like it's free will is truly unlimited possibilities. But like your own will is something that you control, whereas you can't really control your possibilities. So I think that free will comes with a whole lot of nuance. Oh, this video is about to be 20 minutes. I'm gonna let y'all go. If you watched the whole 20 minutes, thanks. Happy New Year.